It is painful.
Honorable Wilberforce Oundo, member for Funyula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As required by the standing order and the Constitution and the standing order, the President came and made his speech, State of the Nation address. Probably I don't want to pick Fatuma Network's words, whatever she has mentioned about, because it's not very honorable for men of our age to talk about it, about undressing. Honorable Speaker, I will focus on 3 areas. And before I focus on those 3 areas, Honorable Speaker, truth be told, the President's statement was underwhelming. It never made any attempt to address the issues of the Mamamboga. It never made any attempt to address the issues at core that ails in this country. It was all about platitude. You would imagine we were in a campaign rally or launching a manifesto for a campaign. Honorable Speaker, to tell people, to tell Kenyans the economy has stabilized, it is not true. The quarterly economic review released for April-June 2023, released by none other than the Central Bank of Kenya, paints a picture of a dire situation, paints a picture of things that are slowly, and not even slowly, rapidly spiraling out of order. Inflation, Honorable Speaker, is about annual revised inflation is about 8.8%, from 6.2% same period last year. The economy has contracted from 6.2% same period last year to 5.3% this year. Honorable Speaker, the cost of finance has shot up tremendously. The Treasury bill in June 2022, 182-day Treasury bill in June 2022 was going at 9.07%. Now at 11.54%. That kind of increase means the sovereign risk of this country is increasing. So to come and tell us, Honorable Speaker, that things are okay is very unfortunate and unforgivable. Honorable Speaker, as I came here, some members of certain WhatsApp group sent me these 2 captions. This one, the President, when he was in the campaign, on 30th June 2022, this is what he said. The challenges of cost of living is not scientific. The challenge of the cost of living is increasing agricultural productivity, period. This whole story of Ukraine is a lost cause. On 14 November 2023, the war in Ukraine has created a dire situation in the whole region. As a result of the war, the price of commodities has escalated, and that has resulted in a higher cost of living. Honorable Speaker, we are Christians. And Christians, we are duty-bound to tell the truth. We are duty-bound not to speak from both sides of our mouths. We are duty-bound not to engage in double-speak. We are duty-bound not to engage in PR when people are suffering down here. Let us not lie to ourselves. I expected him, somebody who has gone to school, when you are given a problem, when you are writing a thesis, you identify the problem, you illustrate the problem, and formulate data capture methods or tools to get you the answers to the problem. Here, the problem was seen, but we have buried our head in the sand. The problem is not there. So we proceed to address a problem that does not exist, to offer comfort and solace where it is not. Honorable Speaker, a patient who requires surgery, giving them painkillers is only now to take them for granted, take them for a ride. Lest when we come to the State of the Nation address, we must be truthful to all Kenyans and tell everybody the truth. This was underwhelming, and if I wanted to use a very strong word, very condescending to the suffering Kenyans. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The next chance will go to the member for Tetu, Honorable Geoffrey Mwangi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I note that time is running out, and I'll be very, very brief. Madam Speaker, I'll restrict myself to the ICT issues that were raised by the President in his speech. Madam Speaker, you remember that enhancing the digital superhighway remains one of Kenya Kwanza's key pillars in terms of their manifesto. And I picked five very important interventions that the President proposed, are either ongoing or are planned. And the first one was digitization of about 5 government services. The second one was rolling out of 100,000 kilometers of fiber. The third one was rolling out of 25,000 Wi-Fi hotspots. The use of NGCDF to be able to support Ajira centers. And finally, the construction of ICT hubs at the constituency level. And Madam Speaker, I must admit that in my own constituency, Tetu, we have actually set aside, the NGCDF board has set aside 10 million shillings for the construction of an ultra-modern ICT center that will see a lot of our staff be able to access digital services. Madam Speaker, the issues here we are dealing with here will help in speeding up the cost, and lowering the cost of doing business in the country, will enhance the image of the country as a Silicon Savannah, will reduce corruption and improve speed of service delivery, will generate big data that can then inform the country on how to make interventions in the various problems that are bedeviling this country. Madam Speaker, 1.2 million Kenyans make their money or make their living from digital jobs, from being digital content marketers, being transcribers, being online writers, online content developers, and even software developers. And Madam Speaker, it's only important that we give these people a chance, because the barriers they face today is expensive internet, it is lack of digital access, it is things like Wi-Fi or connectivity, high mobile termination rates by our mobile companies, things like high data rates, and things like bundles disappearing. So all these interventions that the President is promising here, plus some of the other interventions that we as the ICT committee hope to make in this house, we believe that we can make a positive contribution to make this country digital ready, which is what we require if the country has to be able to effectively participate in the economy of tomorrow. Madam Speaker, I applaud the President's speech, especially on those interventions in the ICT sector, and as a member of that committee, we fully support and we will continue basically to work with this House to ensure that we realize this digital super high. Madam Speaker, with that, I rise to support, and thank you very much.